Hello there. Once again, I'm talking to you from a very badly lit garage because the sun is shining straight through that window. So it's making me reconsider where I film these. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I won't. I like having the games behind me. That's pretty irrelevant though. What have I been up to in the last week or so? Been back to the gym recently. I've also signed up to do Run Norwich, which is the Norwich 10k run in early September. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the time off work because I've not actually got that bit sorted before I've bought my entry. But I'm going to be training to get that done. I went for another massage, and that was really weird. It was done with like hot stones and stuff, and it was really nice while it was happening. But I just had this massive emotional low feeling for the rest of the day, and I was hell to be around because I just felt like crying. No idea why. Apparently massages can do that to some people, but it's not put me off, and I probably will have another one by the end of this month. I took myself to Ipswich to go to the Retro Realm, which is a retro game shop that's run by Sega Zombie. It sells everything retro. Sells toys, games, videos, DVDs, Blu-rays, and video games as well. And it's one of the best retro shops in East Anglia. If you've not been, please do visit there because it is superb. I may have a pickup or two from there as well. Isn't that strange given it's a pickups video? I've watched RoboCop 2 and 3 because I had 3 still to watch for the MegaDrive movies. RoboCop 2 wasn't too bad at all. RoboCop 3 is instantly forgettable and just pretty damn awful. But it's watched, it's out of the way. Within the last year, I've watched all 44 movies that have MegaDrive games based on them. So I need to start getting the last few games. I've got pickups here, from Retro Realm, CEX, eBay. But there's another one that's due to come from eBay that hasn't arrived yet, and I'm probably going to have to open a case on it, which is another movie one. Once I get that one, I'll be down to 8 movies to get. If I don't have that, it'll be 9 to go. So fingers crossed that it turns up in the next day or two. And yesterday I took myself off to the cinema to go and see The Monkey. I had really high hopes for it. I really liked the trailer, and I'd read some really good reviews on it, but it felt a bit dull, really. Elijah Wood, isn't it, for all of 2 minutes, and he was probably the best thing in it. So it wasn't horrendously bad, just wasn't quite what I was expecting. Although one thing that did come up from it was the trailer for the new Final Destination movie came up, and that looks really fun because Final Destination movies are great because the deaths are basically like the punchline to a joke. So looking forward to that coming out. I think it's May the 16th. I may put a link to the trailer for that down below. And I'm going back to the Retro Realm. Sega Zombie recently did a video tour of the shop. I'll pop a link down below for that as well, because I'm not very good at recording in shops because I feel weird trying to do it. So I'm always happy to share what other people have done in terms of tours of shops, because as I've said many times before, I am just a boring bloke from Norfolk who talks about games rather than actually showing you where I get them from. But we'll go on to the pickups. This week's pickups are all MegaDrive except for one UMD. And with my UMDs, I am predominantly going for movies that I've never seen before. This is one that I've seen many, many times before. Came out 1994. And it is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which this was the first Jim Carrey movie that I ever saw. He had that run kind of 94 to 95 where this, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber came out, and I've just loved watching Jim Carrey movies ever since. I think there's only about 5 movies he's done that I've not seen. Although if you do decide that you want to watch all of his movies, just avoid Dark Crimes, because that is truly awful. The best thing in it is his performance, which is very good. It's just a shame that the script, direction, plot, and everything else isn't particularly good. So I'm happy to have that in my UMD collection. I'm considering expanding it to films that I enjoyed when I was younger, as well as going for films I've not seen. So we'll see where I go from there. But on to the games. The first one I've got here is an eBay pickup, which I messed up on 2 levels for. And it's John Madden Football 92. But as the keen-eyed among you may have noticed, I've managed to buy myself the Genesis version rather than the MegaDrive version. But it's not as big a fail as it could have been, because... Oh, God, I'm destroying the shelves behind me. I have it for the MegaDrive anyway. So, thankfully, it was only a couple of pounds including delivery. So, that can just be used as a spare case, potentially, going forwards. But, yeah, I messed up with that one. So, I had a bit of an eBay splurge. And the next one I picked up was Chakan, which I've never played this before. Razor sharp twin swords and the arcane knowledge of alchemy on the beasts of the dark. It looks like a bit of an action platformer, so that'll be an interesting one to give a go to. For some reason, in my head, this and Budokan sit side by side. I don't know whether they're similar at all. If they are, please let me know which one I should be playing first. But oh my god, the way the lighting's going, it's giving me like Ming the Merciless eyebrows, which is pretty good given that I don't really have eyebrows anyway. The next one was actually the first one I picked up after the last video, which is Galaxy Force 2. I hadn't really seen this one much at all until I went to Southend a few weeks ago, and I saw it sitting in a pile in Retro Ed's house. So I thought, if it comes up, I'll get it. It looks a little bit like a cross between Hellfire and... I've forgotten the name of the game. Space Harrier. So it's spacey, it's shooty. I like both of those games, so the two of them put together could be very interesting. So that's yet another game that I have added to the backlog. Then this is one, when I went to Birmingham with my son, we took the MegaDrive Mini, and he had a little go on this game. And it's one that I've heard of many times over the years. I've probably played about 10 minutes of it over all of those years. And that is Kid Chameleon. And I think it's in every level you can get a different costume that has a different skill to help you get through them. But there's a picture that I saw years ago of Kid Chameleon, and he's wearing like jeans, a shirt, and sunglasses. Basically, what he's wearing there, except for the jacket, and he basically looks like Tiny Tom Cruise from Family Guy. I'll see if I can get a picture of the two of them side by side. Just, if you agree with me, please let me know. If you think I'm completely mental with this, then also let me know and I'll wind my neck in. But one thing I do like about this, which is similar with another one of the pickups, is I like the stickers from old game shops with old prices, because it's a bit more like a time capsule of a game rather than just the game. I know some people like their games to be in absolute pristine condition, but I've never been one for pristine condition. I have, over the last year, been a lot more fussy about whether or not they've got manuals, although a couple of pickups here don't have manuals, and they were just ones that I desperately wanted to have. But Kid Chameleon is another good one to have in the collection. And then in CEX in Ipswich, I traded a few things in. So I had a little bit of voucher to go into it, and I picked up Dungeons and Dragons, which it's got to be a roleplay game, surely. I've never played. no, I tell a lie. I have played Dungeons and Dragons for real once. I didn't really get it, but it's something that I've always wanted to get into. But you can get your violins out for this bit. I've never had enough friends to actually play it, or at least never had friends who would be interested in playing stuff like that. So maybe that could be a nice way for me to absorb myself into that world. But it could be a good way to give myself a bit more of an introduction. Now we get on to the two games that I'm most happy about picking up in the last week. First one was the first one that I broke my manuals rule for, and it's a game that I remember playing on whatever system my uncle had at the time. It definitely wasn't a cartridge-based system. It would have either been an early PC or an Atari or something like that. And it's one of my most fondly remembered my most fondly remembered games from when I was younger, even though I've probably only played one level of it, and that is Comic Zone. It's an incredibly inventive game where you play a cartoonist called Turner who gets taken into his own comic strip, and you basically fight within the confines of the individual images, and like you can hit enemies through the dividing lines between the different pictures, and it's so fun and so inventive, and the animation is amazing in it, and it's a game that I've wanted for so long. And when I saw it in Retro Realm, I thought, do you know what, it hasn't got the manual, but sod it, I'm getting it, because it's got so many happy memories for me, and it's one that I've just always wanted to have on the Mega Drive. So that will definitely be getting a play. And I will be awful at it, because I am awful at games. But now we get on to the big hitter from this week, and it's the biggest hitter that I've added to this whole collection. I've bought consoles for less than I've paid for this game. It is a movie-based game, so it fits in with that. I got it for a really good price. I had been looking at cartridge only being over £200. Complete with manual, I've been looking at around 450. So then when this came up boxed, yes, the sleeve isn't in the best condition, but a boxed copy of this game for just under £200, I had to jump on it. I initially put in offers on eBay for it, and then I thought, at this price, someone's going to snipe me. So I said, sod it, and just went for it. It's one of the best films that I've seen as a result of this, and that is Demolition Man. And I'm just really hoping that the game is anywhere near as good as the movie. I've already been asked a couple of times to show some gameplay of this, so I will probably do at least a short video at some point of playing this game. It will probably be a short video because I will be awful at it, but it's just amazing to have this one in the collection, because I thought this was going to be the very last one I would end up getting, and I thought it would be a long, long way. As you can see, the sleeve isn't immaculate, but I have Demolition Man. That's the most important thing. It has also been suggested to me that maybe the reason why it's so much more expensive to have it with the manual could be that the manual tells you how to use the 3 shells. Whether that's true or not, I guess I'll find out if I ever get the manual for it. But that one brings us down to 9 movies still to get. Hopefully it'll be down to 8 in the very near future. If not, I'll just buy another copy with the refund that I get. So other than that, I'm now going to be going back to work next week. So hopefully I'll be able to keep up doing a video once a week or so. And I will still be trying to travel around to try and find more new and interesting games to add to the collection. Other than that, I think that's everything. So thank you very much if you've watched all the way through this, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.